Good morning, everyone. Today is day 3 of the stay at home, and we are going to pick a topic that is trending right now. But before I continue, I would just like to introduce myself. My name is Yomi Martins, a financial services consultant based in the city of Lagos, Nigeria. Okay, let's go straight to our point. We are going to be looking at how force majeure actually affects business during this kind of time. Force majeure or act of God is a concept that is actually entrenched in contracts, right? Contracts that you sign with your bank, with your suppliers, blah, blah, blah. But I would like to address the issue of loans and banking and force majeure. Because a friend actually called me recently and said, okay, how does force majeure play with what part does force majeure play in this coronavirus epidemic and all that stuff, and how do we actually calculate force majeure and all that stuff? The very first thing I told him is this, right? There is nothing like force majeure clause, as far as I know it, in the CBN guide to bank charges, and in most of the offer letters that I have reviewed with my years of banking experience and consulting experience, I have not noticed a force majeure clause coming up that regularly, right? It's normally a template that they just normally just give generic template to all their lending customers, SMEs, corporates, and all that stuff. So they rarely put force majeure, right? And force majeure. Act of God, as I said, act of God includes things like the pandemic, war, earthquake, and stuff like that. That makes it impracticable to fulfill your obligation as a lender, right? And since this thing is not entrenched in your offer letter and it's not entrenched in the CBN guide to bank charges, which I believe it should actually be in your offer letter and the CBN guide to bank charges to mitigate against situations like this. We have had the September 11 crisis in 2000 and was it 2001 or whatever? Don't let me call the wrong way. We had Katrina in 2005. We had the civil war in Nigeria 1967 to 1970. We had the Abiola riot of June 12. So events that are related to force majeure come up every now and then, and businesses should actually find ways of mitigating this risk by ensuring that they entrench or they discuss with their bank to include force majeure in their offer letters, in their contracts. Now, another thing I must quickly tell you is this: force majeure is interpreted explicitly on the events that you have specified. If there is act of terrorism and you did not include it in your force majeure clause, nobody will listen to you. If an earthquake is not included in your force majeure, nobody will listen to you. You have to specify it in the contract. Now, going to the next question that was asked by my friend, that okay, how do you calculate force majeure and everything? Is it not subjective? No, it isn't. You can actually calculate force majeure by looking at its impacts vis-a-vis historical facts on how it has affected sales, how it has affected your income, how that period that force majeure clause was called up, comparing it with the period probably. Okay, let me just cut the chase. Okay, last year historically, between quarter one and this year quarter one, same quarter one, how was sales then, how was sales now? Can I justify that my sales were affected by X amount, by Y amount? Can I justify that my income was affected? Can I justify that my ability to source raw materials were affected? Probably I needed to be importing items from China, borders are closed, blah, blah, blah. I should have imported X amount from China at the same period the previous year, right? Do your calculations and deductions and you might be able to justify force majeure. Now everybody is left in the hands of normal common law of which is sometimes hard to define, if the force majeure clause is not entrenched in your contract. So it is very important, my people, if you are signing a contract with the bank, if it's a loan contract and you envisage that a force majeure issue might occur, you actually tell your bank before you put that pen to paper, that they should include a clause that you envisage might happen in the short or long run. Everybody right now is left in the hands of the CBN as regulators to say, okay, fine, we didn't envisage that there was going to be a force majeure issue, but obviously there's going to be an avalanche of loan defaults around this period because businesses will not be able to service their facility. That's why it's always good when you are taking up a facility, you call up an expert to review your offer letter for you to see the appropriateness and all that stuff. Remain blessed. My name remains Yomi Martins, and stay fresh, stay at home. We'll weather this storm together, even in business and in our family. Have a nice day. Bye.